Speaking of conductors, this is a huge year now for the symphony.
It
right?
is Joanne's 25th anniversary, and you know,
anniversary! I thought it was birthday.
yeah, well, that too.
Okay.
You know, Joanne, it's so interesting. I think there are just so few leaders in this field who embody their communities and are just sort of treasured by a community in the way Joanne is, and all for good reason. You know, she obviously has exhilarated and inspired people in performance, but she is such an exceptional person that it is so easy to celebrate anything that she's accomplished. You know, so yeah, you're right. This is a very, very exciting year for us.
Well, I remember one time she mentioned that one of her most intimate moments and what she really prefers is the guitar on stage in front of 2,500 people. And that's intimate. And I said, okay, next time you come on, you got to bring the guitar, and she did.
Yep. Yeah.
And then right after that, I saw her at Rite Aid in Ghent. I mean, she can live all over the world.
Yeah.
But she lives here in Norfolk.
No, I mean, I think, you know, you see folks that you know from public life and you wonder, gee, I wonder if they're actually what I see. And she absolutely is. She is as generous a soul as there is. And we're very fortunate to have her.
Okay, we've talked about Joanne. Now let's talk about Robert. You live right here too.
I do.
And you don't have a choice of all over the world.
Well, you know,
Because you
in
like
small bites.
Because
Yeah.
you like the chorus master.
Well, you know, and I think most of us who work in any location musically travel some, you know, on occasion. But yeah, I'm based here. You know, my family's here, and it's a great, wonderful, exciting place to make music. And the symphony chorus for me has been a joy of relationships, of people who drive hours and hours and hours every year and give their time and give their hard work and are willing to come and let me yell at them for a couple hours a week. And you know, the singers are as inspiring as Joanne is because they give so much of themselves to prepare for what they do.
Now, I think the last time I saw your other side, you did this, and I think 800 singers stood up at, you know, I mean, how does that feel?
Oh, was this a tattoo?
I think it was a tattoo.
Yeah, it probably only felt like 800 singers. You know, I honestly, in any environment, whether it's the intimate, you know, 15 or it's a couple hundred, I think you're immersed in the music itself. You're not thinking about those things. You're simply just being one of the agents of music making and hopefully in a dynamic partnership with those that are in front of you.
Now, you were very active. The chorus is doing some great stuff this spring. And I got to say, it's all over the board. I mean, I can't pronounce half of it. It's
Yeah,
French, and then there's what's the guy's name? Bugs Bunny?
Yeah, so now the chorus is not actually on these two shows that are coming up, but we want to talk about them because
Okay,
they're
that's
just
the
incredible.
symphony.
Right, the orchestra and some very special guests. Cameron Carpenter. This is really unlike anything that has been seen in quite a while. I was talking to some colleagues, and so what I find amazing about this guy is when I started my musical career as a 5-year-old and took my very first lessons, I took lessons with a guy who was at the end of the line of the old theater organist culture. You know, where you'd have these big splashy organs with fancy theater lighting, and playing organ was a theatrical event with all kinds of pyrotechnics, and you know, that's what this guy kind of is in a classical environment. So he tours with this massive organ that he brings with him. He is a counterculture individual. We're not sure whether he's going to come with a spiky hairdo or be bald, but he wears bold colors and sort of, you'd think of him as a counterculture individual
wow.
coming from some urban club, right? But he's making organ playing hip. You know, if we think about what we think of typically with sort of organ performance culture, he totally bucks that trend. On this upcoming performance, he's going to be playing the Saint-Saëns organ concerto, which is very beloved, and one I actually really love, which is the Poulenc organ concerto. It's visceral, it's exciting, there's great string writing for it, but it's going to be really something to both see and hear this music brought to life by this
So he doesn't necessarily
guy.
mess with the music.
No, he's a virtuoso performer. Now, I think when he's doing his own performances in other places, he's a very eclectic musician. He doesn't only do classical music, but in this performance, he's doing two very, very well-established pieces of the repertoire. Yeah.
Now I'm seeing though. I mean, I'm used to the symphony playing at you know, Chrysler Hall.
Right.
And I'm starting to see Douglas.
Yeah, the Wilder Center at Norfolk State. You know, it's a really surprising venue with very vibrant sound. You know, we've actually made a couple of our recordings with the orchestra there, so it's a hall that sounds great. It's a lovely, lovely space, and kind of surprising if you haven't been there before. So we hope people will come to the Norfolk performance at the Wilder Center and see him.
So the first one, I'm going to let you say it because you say it's so much better than I would ever slaughter it.
Saint-Saëns,
Saint-Saëns is March 12th. Then March 13th, At 13th and 14th.
Right.
So all, that
and
whole
all three
weekend.
performances are both pieces. Right. So
All
he'll be
right.
doing them both. Right.
Okay. Okay. Let's
And then
talk
you want to
Bugs
talk about
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, right? So, if people
you
don't
hum
know
this-
anything
can you
else
hum the
about
music?
classical music, they certainly know "Kilda Wabbit" and the old Wagner.
Yeah.
What was the Barbara Sewell? People remember, right?
Very good.
Yeah. Thank you. These were my formative experiences
And
as
that's
a child.
without doing this.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's such fun because so much of that great classical music was in those cartoons, and getting to hear it live and see it at the same time is a really exhilarating experience. But what's fascinating, and people may not really recognize, is the creative process is reversed. When the animators are animating to that music, they've got a recording and they can make the animation exactly match the accents in the music. So if you remember those cartoons,
cool.
the music absolutely dovetailed. When you perform it live, it's done in the reverse, which means the conductor generally is following time code. They've generally got a little television screen that tells them they've got marks in the score that tell them where they are so that they can line up 70 musicians
And
to the
and Bugs
second
Bunny.
with what Bugs Bunny's doing up on the screen. And it's a really fascinating additional discipline for a conductor, not to simply make music the way you want to, but to align to a very strict metronome. It's kind of an amazing athletic feat, I think.
Who's conducting?
We have a guest conductor who his name I'm forgetting, but I think is on the material that we have for you. But he comes and does this show, and we're excited to have that whole thing for our audiences.
And that's something that's kind of changing up with the symphony. I mean, there are more and more of these types of shows that come with a video in it.
Yeah,
Is it really appealing to a new audience?
I think part of what the balance for all of us is the music is central for we who are musicians. But the fact of the matter is people don't receive art in the way they used to.
Right.
We don't receive life in the way we used to, And so I think there's always an effort to try to give people an opportunity to engage with the exhilaration of this music and the rhythm and the melodies and everything in fresh ways.
You want to talk about the chorus?
Sure, that'd be great.
Do you like talking about the chorus?
Well, it's interesting.
You light up every time I mention the chorus.
Because I've got great people,
Yeah.
Next season is going to be really one of the strongest seasons the chorus has ever had. They're singing two smaller gems of their repertoire, the Palavetzian dances from Prince Igor in the fall, Russian piece. The Stranger Pair, da da dee da 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 dum, comes from that work. So if people know that melody, that's its origin. Later in the season, the women are singing the Debussy Nocturnes, where they are the sirens in the sea beckoning the ships to the, it's a wordless women's chorus. It's one of the really beautiful gems of the repertoire. But then we have sort of the Titanic pieces, Messiah, of course, every year, but we're doing Verdi Requiem after the first of the year, which is just one of those experiences sort of like Beethoven 9, that it's visceral, it's dramatic, it's one of those unforgettable experiences. The message for the chorus that we really are wanting to get out this year is that we're always recruiting for new members. Would be happy for people to come and audition and become a part of us. But one of the things that happens for people coming out of college is they very often sang in their high school choirs. They may have sung in their college choirs and loved it. And then the temptation to think that life is going to be too busy in a new job, this is where they fall away. Think, well, I'll get back to it later. I can't tell you how many times I have a 55-year-old come to audition for me and say, I used to do this and I loved it. I don't know why I set it aside. So we really want to reach out to graduating college seniors and say, start your life with this as a continuing part of who you are. We have a wonderful community. I think the symphony chorus, unlike a lot of the groups I've seen like it across the country, has been for a long time and remained very multi-generational. It's not an older group. It's a multi-generational ensemble with many people in their 20s all the way up to their 70s So the music is astonishing. We sing for thousands of people every year. They get to sing under the direction of a Grammy Award-winning superstar like Joanne, and just sing the best music on the planet.
Do they have to own a tux?
They will if they get a yes from me, yeah.
Well, I mean, what are you looking for?
So that's
I mean,
that's actually a great
audition,
question, because I will tell you one of the biggest hindrances for us is people hear audition and they get terrified.
Right.
The auditions are painless. The worst thing you might hear from me is, go and work on this, this, and this, and come back and sing for me again.
Okay.
But what we basically need is somebody who can basically read music, competently read music, and prepare their notes. So one of the things that people one of the things that people enjoy about singing in the symphony chorus is we don't take 20 weeks to learn a piece. We do Messiah on 3 rehearsals. We rehearse, but that's because people learn their notes. people are generally more capable of this than they think if they have sung in ensembles through the years. So we're not looking for them to be a full-time professional, sight singing champion, but we want to know that there's competence. So if we say, go home and prepare this movement this week, that they have a chance of getting that
Are there
ready.
solos?
Occasionally, that's not the main role of the chorus. It's really, I think, if you talk to the members, I think they're going to tell you to a person, they take tremendous pride in the fact that they are a team pulling toward a goal bigger than them together.
You blend and build a team.
Yeah, I think just pulling toward the same goal, and that means incredible precision rhythmically if we're doing something fast and visceral, so that you can hear the clarity even with 80 or 90 people.
Yeah, I love the chorus work because of that blend and that and having a daughter that sang in chorus, I always listened for her, and then I was told that if I heard her, she wasn't doing right.
Well, part of the reason I think we operate the way we do is that to try to get a sound that is unified, to try to get the clarity, that doesn't work very well if everybody's trying to have notes taught to them on the spot. When people show up with at least some preparation, the group can work on being a group.
Are you looking for basses and tenors, or are you looking for everybody?
We're looking for everybody. I would say right now we are especially looking for tenors. Is a special push for that.
But I heard you sang a tenor solo, or you sang in the tenor section during the Beethoven thing?
We had some specific scheduling issues with this last concert, and had a couple people that could not be with us, so I sort of got pulled into duty.
So did you conduct from the tenor section?
No, but Ben was conducting. Ben Rouse was conducting.
There we go. Yes.
But he looked.
Is he pretty good?
I sort of projected him what he needed to do from the podium.
So it was okay.
I'm kidding. Ben's fantastic.
I never really understood when I was singing. I never paid attention to the conductor anyway. Well, I no longer sang, and I noticed you're looking for college students, not for old guys.
Well, no,
So
we're taking people at all levels. The point is not that we're looking for one and not the other. It's really that this is a population that we lose, and we lose them for decades.
Well, actually, I'm glad you didn't try to recruit me, because I like sitting in the seat listening.
Yeah. Well, as soon as the cameras are off, I'm going to twist your arm.
Thanks a lot.
Great to be here, Bob.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks.